America, huh? Well, as of yesterday, there is no America, guys. We lost. That race war, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It took everybody's minds off the fucking prize. They just won. America just got conquered from the inside out, bro. The biggest, greatest army, military country, yeah, none of that matters. Because we let a country the size of New Jersey take us over from the inside out. And only God knows what they getting ready to do with this new integration that they have. The power stroke is finna be crazy. The ego stroke is finna be crazy. We're finna be in some crazy times, guys. If you ain't had the balls to fight then, you better have the balls to fight now, or you ain't gonna be nothing but a victim. Sorry to say it. Love, peace, and prosperity to all. Stay safe and dangerous.
Yo, beware of this structure if y'all see it in any place where a lot of people is at. This right here is called an obelisk. Right now, it's in a Luxor casino in Las Vegas. You definitely have seen this before, like in Washington, D.C. They got it all over Rome, London, even in certain malls like Lenin Square in Atlanta. I've seen it myself. What this does is it sucks up energy in the area, grounds it to the earth, and magnetizes the whole place, and literally becomes like an energetic wormhole. So that's why you will see this in a place most likely where there's a lot of people. And you may be attracted to a certain area and don't even know why, because one of these obelisks is tugging on your energy. And I just happened to be in a casino. So you know this was intentionally placed there, bro. Not only that, we're also in the pyramid. And pyramids pull energy from the atmosphere, literally creating a powerhouse. So the Luxor Casino in Las Vegas is literally intentionally taking your money. It's no accident why you keep feeling pulled to this place. If you've seen one of these before, let me know in the comments where you see one at. And send this to anybody that have gambled at the Luxor Hotel. Love y'all, peace.
One of the ways this system will attack you after you're awakened is to make you feel like you made a wrong choice or you made the wrong choice by becoming awakened. Let me explain. When you become awakened, you start to activate this matrix and you have activated against you. And one of the things that you're going to notice is that it's going to try to wear you out. Okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, it's going to start attacking you. The Agent Smiths, right? The demons on people, they're all going to try to turn on you. And one of the ways it tries to do that is to make you feel like you don't belong here. It's going to try to make you feel like your decision to become awakened, or, some people say they didn't decide, but in some ways you did. In many ways you did. But your choice for choosing that path, we're going to make you regret it. We're going to try to take everything away from you. We're going to try to make sure you don't fit into the system. We're going to make sure that you don't benefit from this system. Because in their mind, you have a kind of a light that can wake other people up, and they don't like that. So it will come after you. And one of the ways it comes after you early on is to put a lot of pressure on you. It's going to start kicking you out of groups. It's going to start making you not fit in anywhere. It's going to start using people and activating their Agent Smith programming within them to come after you and reject you and put heat on you. It's going to start trying to tarnish your name. It's going to start trying to make you feel like life is going to be so hard for you because now you're trying to be different. It's kind of like that saying, the nail that sticks out get hammered, right? It's a Japanese saying, I think. I don't know. I heard that somewhere. But that's basically what it's going to try to do to you. It's going to try to make you feel like, for sticking out, we're going to hammer you. We want you back in the box. Sit down, shut up, and do what we want. Do it the way we want. We want you to follow the narcissist in the system or become a narcissistic leader in this system like we want you to. Okay, if you want to get wealthy in the system, we want you to get wealthy our way. Okay, we want you to work hard, right? And slave away and give us your time and your energy. And we want you to develop nervous tics. And we want you to strive and please and beg. We want you to have to pretend to be something that you're not to get what you want. And then we'll give you the boat and the car, right? We want you in low vibration so we can suck your energy. That's how they function. And when you decide to wake up, you rebel against that. You said, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not going to do it that way, right? I don't have to work hard to get everything that I want. I may have to put in a lot of hours to get something. I may have to put in a lot of time on something, but who says it has to be hard? People at McDonald's work hard, right? People also running a business work hard, but they make different types of money, right? And even then, who says that you have to strive and beat the wind just to get $1, right? Sometimes things can just come your way. Sometimes just being in the right vibration can bring things your way. In most cases, you have to put in a lot of effort, but the way you put in effort when you're blessed and when you're awakened and when you're receiving from the high, from your highest self is different, right? You get things lining up for you. You get favors being given to you without you even having to ask, right? That's the difference. The difference is the universe works for you and provides you with things. And you find that things come a lot easier as long as you keep moving forward in a direction, as long as you keep putting in the time and the effort. But it doesn't mean that it's harder. It doesn't even feel hard half the time. You could put in 20 hours a day and it doesn't feel hard. But you do have to start things, right? You do have to get motivated by things. You do have to be in a certain frequency and vibration to get things to work for you effortlessly, right? Whereas sometimes when you're not in a high vibration and you're trying to achieve things, it feels like everything's going against you. You have to work so hard just to move an inch. Whereas when you're blessed, you can move a mile just by even taking steps towards it. That's the difference, right? The Bible talks about the world will gather up the wealth for you and it will be transferred to you. That's what it was talking about. Where you just have to put in the effort and get started, but things will come to you and be given to you. Whereas someone will have to work 10 times as hard just to get what you got, right? But this system doesn't want you to know that secret. That's why it's trying to keep you in the box. It doesn't want you to understand that by awakening and having a vibration, you have access and control over your life. You have access to all the great things this planet can offer, and you have access to victory and success without doing it the way the world does it. That's what it doesn't want you to know. And it doesn't want you to tell other people that too, because it knows that your vibration can speak that truth to other people. It doesn't want them to see that. It's trying to control people. It's trying to have influence over how they produce and what they produce and how they do it, right? That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to control them. It's built as a system of control, right? Just like in the movie The Matrix. And to be honest, that was a good documentary. That's how you should look at it, right? So this system will come at you and it's going to try to pressure you with bills. It's going to try to make people get angry at you and get frustrated with you. People are always getting in your way. They're going to try to annoy you, driving in front of you on the road, doing wild things. And they can't touch you. You know, I mean, there's ways they can try to do it depending on how famous you get and how powerful you get. But for the most part, what they try to do is make you frustrated, right? Just putting people in your path to drive you crazy and make you feel like you just want to do something crazy and dumb back to them. And then when you do that and you react to it, you drop your vibration. So your power is going to be in your response dealing with this system. How you respond to it, how you view it. You always have to view it in a way that keeps you in a high vibration, view it in a way that everything benefits you, and you have to view other people that are coming at you as they don't know what they're doing, they don't know any better, and this is how the world is built when you're not awakened, and they're just responding to the programming they have in them, right? Because their job is to bring your vibration down so that you don't achieve victory in this world and you don't awaken others. And they're going to just put that heat on you through other people, right? Through your job, through your work, through how people respond to you, simple things like that. But it doesn't last for long. That's the most important thing you have to understand here. It doesn't last long. See, the way the universe works is it responds to you and your vibration. So if you keep your vibration high, right? Remember, this universe is a sandbox. Because it responds to you, it will reflect back to you and give you what your vibration is. So if you keep your vibration high, good things come back to you. Your success comes back to you. What you want will come back to you, right? Good things will reflect back into your life at some point, right? The speed of that can vary, but it will reflect back to you as long as you keep your vibration high and you respond appropriately to any challenges that come up. They're putting out a vibration too, right? They're putting out a vibration too. And that vibration they're putting out is going to come back to them because the universe responds to their vibration. And because they're putting out shitty energy and bad vibrations, what do you think is going to happen to them? Unfortunately for those people, because they're in low vibration, right? And maybe they're possessed by demons or whatever, those demons are kind of sacrificing them because it's using them to attack you. And then that energy they're putting out is going to come back to them. So now the vessel, the person, is going to get bad luck in their life and bad things happening, right? Those demons are sacrificing those people in a way. You don't want that to happen to you, and that's what you awoke. That's what you awoke from, right? So you don't have to worry. Just understand that it's going to do what it does. It's going to put that heat on you and try to make you regret awakening. But you have to understand you're in a war, a high vibrational war, or just a vibrational war, not just a high vibrational war. You're just in a vibrational war, right? For your freedom, for your frequency, for your independence, for your growth. You're in a war for that, right? And they have a lot of people trapped in this system and they don't want seeing wake up. And by you shining your light and being who you are, you're going to impact and influence their vibration. And that's why they attack you. Okay? So once you understand that this is a war, realize that you're a warrior for the light, and all you have to do is keep standing your ground. You respond, not react, and you respond in a way that keeps your vibration high. And watch the universe bless you, favor you, and provide everything that you need. Okay? They're going to get their due justice, and unfortunately, that being that the demons hosting may get sacrificed with bad luck because of how they're vibrating. So that's just how the world works. Don't worry about it, all right? You got this. Keep staying strong. Keep vibrating high, and you're going to win. Talk to you later.
You got to stop thinking like a human and start thinking like a God. G-O-D, generator, operator, and destroyer. Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? John chapter 10, verse 34, 35. You know the whole deal. You have to start thinking this way because, okay, here it is. You have to start thinking this way because I'm telling you, the reason, what is the hold up is that the actual gods do not realize they're gods. There's a good movie you need to get. There's a good movie you need to get. You need to get a movie called A Never Ending Story. You thought it was a child movie. And he gets this little book and he goes through this adventure. And at the end of the movie, midway in the movie, they say, hell, come to find out that the little boy that was reading the book of all these magnificent heroes, the other boy on the other side who was going through all the trial was him. And they said, and at the end, they said, well, hell, our world is falling down because he doesn't believe in himself. It's all about you. That's the key. You can't, that's the key. This is the real knowledge. There's a mystery of the world, and the mystery of the world is look for no God to save you but yourself, because it's within you.
Bobby Hemmett is diving into one of the oldest spiritual questions that humanity has ever explored. Who are we really? Who are we really? Are we just physical beings moving through life trying to survive? Or is there something much deeper about our nature that we've forgotten? One of the main ideas he brings up is the phrase, know thyself. And honestly, that phrase has been repeated throughout history for a reason, really good reason. Ancient mystery schools, philosophers, and spiritual traditions have all placed a huge emphasis on self knowledge because the belief was that understanding yourself was the pathway to understanding the universe around you. He takes that idea even further by saying people need to stop thinking of themselves as powerless humans and start recognizing their connection to the divine. Now, when he uses the word gods, he's not necessarily talking about humans being separate beings with unlimited power. He's pointing toward the idea that there is a creative force within consciousness itself. He references the acronym GOD, generator, operator, destroyer. And when you think about that symbolically, it actually is a really interesting concept because every person is constantly creating. We create thoughts, choices, relationships. We create the direction that our lives move in. At the same time, we are also constantly destroying and rebuilding versions of ourselves. The person you were 5 years ago may not exist anymore. Old beliefs die, old identities tend to fall away, new versions of ourselves emerge, and that cycle is happening all the time, over and over again. Now, he also brings up the Bible verse from John 10:34, where Jesus says, "Ye are gods." This verse right here has been interpreted in so many different ways depending on someone's spiritual beliefs. Some people see it as a statement about humanity's connection to God. Others interpret it symbolically as a reminder that humans carry qualities like creativity, consciousness, and moral responsibility. But here's what I found interesting about this, and that's that this idea isn't limited to one tradition. There's a recurring theme that humans have a deeper connection to creation than we often realize. The question is, are we living from that awareness? Or are we constantly giving our power away? And I think that's where this conversation starts getting really deep because a lot of people spend their lives waiting for something outside of themselves to change everything, waiting for someone else to save them, waiting for someone else to give them permission or the perfect moment. But what if the power to change begins internally? That's the message that Bobby Hemmett is pushing. Not that we control every single thing that happens in life because life is unpredictable. Challenges happen. You may even lose things. Loss happens. Things happen outside of our control all the time. But we do have influence over how we respond, what we create, and what we choose to believe about ourselves. The reference to the never ending story is actually a really interesting comparison. The main character spends so much time observing the story that he doesn't even realize he's connected to it. He doesn't realize he has a role to play. And I think a lot of people experience life that way sometimes. You know, almost like they're watching their own story happen from the outside and they're waiting for something to change or waiting to be saved, even waiting to become the person they were meant to be. But eventually, there comes a moment where you realize, wait, I'm not just watching this story, I'm participating in it. Yes. And that shift in perspective can change everything. Now, I think it's important to approach ideas like this with balance, of course. Recognizing your inner power doesn't mean you never need help. It doesn't mean that you ignore the world around you. And it does not mean that you believe you're above anyone else. To me, the deeper meaning is about remembering your own responsibility in your life. Your thoughts matter, your choices matter as well. Because the way you see yourself influences the way that you move throughout the world. And maybe that's the real meaning behind Know Thyself. Maybe it's not about becoming something you weren't before. Maybe it's about remembering something that was always there, the creator within, the consciousness within, the part of you that has always been connected to something greater than yourself. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest mystery isn't discovering some hidden power outside of us. Maybe it's realizing how much power we've been carrying all along.
If you get a new phone and you really read through all of those Privacy Act laws, You are giving over your thoughts, you're giving over your privacy, you're giving over your camera. They taking pictures. Every millisecond, this thing take about 3 pictures of me. And you can turn off the lights and use a UV light and it'll show the phone taking pictures. The phone is constantly recording your conversation, seeing the things you like. The actual grid inside the phone, or the circuit breaker, is emitting a frequency and it's giving you called bioloop feedback of your brain pattern waves. This thing is the actual snake that was in the Garden of Eden. This is the apple. And that's the reason why, if you look at the back of your iPhone, notice it's an apple that have been bit off, right? Well, have you heard of the apple deception in the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge, good and evil? They was told not to eat from that tree, and they ate from that tree. And once they ate from the tree, they had knowledge. They knew it all. And that knowledge was going to cause the actual collapse of man or mankind, because it was high technology. This the same type of thing. So this is the tree of knowledge, good and evil, and the high elites, or the serpent, trying to get us to eat from this forbidden knowledge, and we doing it every day. So your cell phone, man, is crazy work, man. This is a very, very spiritual harvesting device. And if you go through it, you can, all your dark secrets in here, all your nasty pictures in here, all the pornography that you search the web is in here. Everything that you think about, you put it in your phone, whether you physically do it or whether you mentally do it. So these things are harvesting our souls, our energy, our spirit, and it's dehydrating the hell out of us and giving us cancer too at the same thing.
Phones are definitely more than just pieces of technology. They are becoming something that's shaping our consciousness, our attention, and maybe even the way we experience reality to date. Now, some of the claims in this clip, like phones constantly reading thoughts, emitting frequencies that intentionally influence the mind, or causing specific diseases, well, that hasn't been established by reliable evidence as of yet. So I think it's important to separate what's documented from what's still being explored or theorized. But even with that said, I think there's a deeper conversation here that's worth paying attention to. We've become incredibly connected, but have we become more connected to ourselves? I ask myself that sometimes. There have been days where I've picked up my phone to answer one message, and before I knew it, 45 minutes is gone, just gone. My attention been pulled in 5,000 different directions. I couldn't even remember why I picked the phone up in the first place. And I know that happens to a lot of us. And sometimes it just makes me wonder, if attention is one of our greatest sources of power, what happens when it's constantly being fragmented? Because whether you look at this from a spiritual lens or a psychological one, attention shapes experience. Which you constantly focus on begins to influence how you see the world. It influences your emotions, your habits, even your relationships. Now, the symbolism on the bitten apple. A lot of people have debated over this. Some people see it as nothing more than a logo. Others see a connection to the Garden of Eden and the Tree of Knowledge. Whether that's intentional symbolism or simply an interesting parallel, I think it's fascinating how often technology and spirituality end up crossing paths in these conversations. One thing I do think deserves more discussion is our relationship with technology itself. Not because technology is inherently bad, it actually gives us an opportunity to learn, to connect. We get to build communities. Honestly, this channel exists because of technology. At the same time, every powerful tool comes with its trade offs. The same device that can teach you something life changing can also distract you for hours. The same device that connects you with people across the world can also make you feel disconnected from the people sitting right next to you. So maybe the deeper spiritual question isn't, is the phone good or evil? Maybe it's, who's in control? Am I consciously using this tool, or is this tool quietly shaping me in ways that I haven't stopped to notice yet? I think that's a question worth asking. Because if there's one thing almost every spiritual tradition agrees on, it's that awareness matters. Being present matters. Knowing yourself matters. And anything that constantly competes for your awareness, that deserves to be examined with discernment, of course. So, whether someone watches this clip and sees it as a warning, a metaphor, or simply an invitation to rethink their relationship with technology, I think the most valuable takeaway is to become more intentional. Spend some time away from the screen. Go outside, sit in silence, meditate, journal, have conversations without checking notifications every 2 minutes. Reconnect with the part of yourself that isn't constantly reacting to the next alert. Because at the end of the day, protecting your consciousness isn't just about what you believe. It's also about what you consistently allow to occupy your attention. And I think that's a conversation definitely worth having. In closing, I keep thinking about how these clips really aren't talking about different things. One is saying remember who you are, the other is saying be mindful of what you're allowing to influence who you become. When you put these two ideas together, that's actually a pretty powerful conversation because every single day we're being influenced by something. The people we listen to, the videos we watch, the conversations we have, hell, even the music we play. None of us are completely untouched by our environment. The question is, are we choosing what shapes us or are we just absorbing whatever happens to be in front of us? And honestly, I ask myself that question too. There are days when I realize I've spent way too much time looking at a screen. Then I go outside for 15 minutes, do some grounding, hear the birds, and I'm like, I didn't even realize how much I really needed that. It's almost like something in us constantly asking to reconnect, not with Wi Fi, but with ourselves. I think that's why so many people are becoming interested in meditation, astrology, numerology, breath work, all of that stuff. At the core, they're all invitations to slow down, to become more aware again, to stop living on autopilot. Whether you believe every conspiracy theory or none of them, I think we can all agree that awareness is never a bad thing. Pay attention to what makes you feel more alive. Also, pay attention to what constantly drains you, to who you become after spending time around certain people or certain apps. That's all of that is information too. Yes. And maybe that's one of the biggest forms of discernment that we can develop. Not just asking, is this true? But also asking, what is this producing in me? Is this making me more fearful, more anxious, or is it helping me to become more present, more compassionate, more connected? I think those questions matter, and I don't think we ask them enough. So, wherever you are on your journey, don't be afraid to stay curious. Read the books, watch the documentaries, listen to different perspectives. Always question things, but also remember to check in with yourself because your own experience is one of your greatest teachers. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. Did anything stand out to you? Did they make you see something differently? Or Do you see these ideas from a completely different angle? As always, I enjoy the time that we spent together, and I cannot wait to see you, yes, you, on the very next video.